Back in 2009, when James Cameron graced us with the first Avatar, we didn't really know what to expect from an animated movie, but oh boy was it good. It had everything from complex 3D animations to lots of motion capture animated characters and amazing scenes with aliens from another planet. Avatar was one of the highlights of the 2000s, but will Cameron be able to push CGI boundaries again? Let's find out. First off, how will Cameron one-up the first Avatar? By using cutting-edge visual technology, of course. Forget about the 2000s, let's fast forward to 2022, an era of endless possibilities with computer hardware powerful enough to give birth to artificial intelligence. Now that we're finally getting the long-awaited Avatar sequel, let's recap the last trailer we got to bring you up to speed. In the first trailer for Avatar, The Way of Water, which was revealed earlier this year, Jake Sully, Neytiri, and their children took us back to Pandora. Judging from the trailer alone, it's probably going to be awesome, especially considering the fact that this sequel has been in production for the last 10 years. But still, you can't make everyone happy, and some people have started complaining about the CGI not being as good as the other movies we've all seen, like all the movies Marvel Studios has come out with, for example. So naturally, a team of special effects artists talked about it on Corridor Crew's VFX Artists React segment on YouTube. And guess what the professionals concluded? They came to the realization that some of the effects of the sequel are groundbreaking. Take that, haters. The VFX artist also stated that water will be the key to everything in this movie, but we already knew that. Moving on, expect lots of water. Well, there is one particular scene where we see close-up of Na'vi tightening saddle straps on their mount. That's one scene the Corridor Crew singled out. What's more, according to them, this movie will be based entirely on CGI, just like in that one shot. People didn't learn a lot about the movie from the most recent trailer, but thanks to people like the artists of Corridor Crew, there are a few points that they spotted that we couldn't. Make your guesses. What could it be? Well, it's fairly obvious by now that Avatar will include elements of nature because it's obvious from the movie titles that water will be a major theme. Additionally, the Avatar 2 cast has already disclosed a few of the filming locations, indicating that there will be a lot of water in this movie. The aquatic regions of Pandora are prominently featured in the trailer, so it's a good thing the water looks as good as it does. Even though the watery environments in Avatar, The Way of Water, are clearly created using computer graphics, they look so real that there's a fat chance anybody will complain. Next up, Avatar, Way of Water won't be entirely based on water. Just because the title refers to water doesn't mean we'll be seeing it all the time. Through the trailer, Cameron's Avatar 2 also provided a glimpse of some of the other things we expect to see. That includes various locations that we saw in the original Avatar. The original Avatar got a lot of awards for its amazing CGI, so James Cameron really has to step up his game and be better than the original, especially considering how far CGI technology has come in the past 10 years. Not to worry though, because in terms of CGI, The Way of Water appears to have made huge strides forward, with the environments, lighting, and character detail all looking extremely impressive. We might be witnessing a new 3D revolution with this movie because the trailer alone makes clever use of the film's catchy and immersive visual possibilities, and if anything has the power to rekindle the 3D revolution in film, it's Pandora's immersive spectacle. When the movie finally arrives in the multiplexes this month, the 20th Century Fox and Disney will handle distribution worldwide. According to The Hollywood Reporter, which have reported that attendees at the CinemaCon in Las Vegas were amazed by the movie's impressive 3D and high frame rate. Now, for fan predictions that predict a horrible ending. It would be very upsetting for fans of Avatar 2 ended on a cliffhanger and made viewers wait for the threequel, Avatar: The Way of Water, has been in development for years, which to devoted fans felt like centuries. So it would be a shame if Cameron decides to split the movie into two parts, ending the first part on a cliffhanger. Fans are also irritated by the fact that they don't know exactly how many sequels are gonna come in the future. But James Cameron has stated that he'll decide how many more movies he wants to make after evaluating Avatar 2's success. The writer is prepared to end the story with 3 installments rather than the previously planned 5 films if the film doesn't do well. Not to mention, he's already working on Avatar 3. Avatar 3 is already in development and is scheduled for release in December next year. There are a 13-year gap between the first and second Avatar films, during which time countless fan theories about the potential storylines of the follow-up films appeared online. One of the theories centers on the fact that Avatars 2 and 3 are being made concurrently, which suggests that the film film could be based on one long script split into two parts to fit each one into a single film. According to the theory, such a structure might give Avatar 2 fans a cliffhanger or unsatisfying conclusion, leaving them with unanswered questions. It's possible it could happen because it's pretty common for franchises to have a multi-part story arc and leave one of the episodes with a shocking cliffhanger, forcing viewers to wait another year or two for the resolution. But that doesn't change the fact that the cliffhangers may come off as a cheap attempt if they are used just to hook viewers and force them to return to theaters for the conclusion. We want to complete the story in one movie. Avatar doesn't really need to be another Twilight or Infinity War two-part series. While still being a part of the franchise, each Avatar production is supposed to be a standalone movie. Accordingly, each one's conclusion doesn't need to have any sort of effect on the next one to move on with the story, but it could still happen. Next up, Avatar: Way of Water's one major flaw. Right now, everything feels a little predictable and repetitive. The Way of the Water is undoubtedly James Cameron's highly anticipated Avatar sequel, which got its trailer recently, but we couldn't help but notice how repetitive the story is. Now, with less than a month until the premiere, fans have already identified a significant issue with the upcoming movie. According to the final trailer, it appears that the sequel adds absolutely nothing new to the narrative. The Way of Water also appeared to be a plot repeat of the first film. The last trailer makes it abundantly clear that Jake and Neytiri's family has experienced some sort of threat, which fans are assuming is probably from humans, judging from the trailer, which doesn't say otherwise. The only piece of information we have is that Jake brings his wife and children to the Na'vi homeland to keep them safe because it also has strong ties to Pandora's waters. Last but not least, what does the trailer say about Jake's son? The trailer suggests that Jake's son finds it challenging to fit in with his new tribe. Fortunately for him, a pretty local girl is willing to help him by teaching him how to breathe, hunt, and ride animals. But haven't we seen this same story more than 10 years ago? The story doesn't seem too promising, but the visuals are at least to die for. But didn't we expect that from Cameron anyway? The visuals still don't tell us a lot about the movie, what it involves, or why we should care about the characters. It's a little all too vague. The movie's actual plot isn't well explained in the trailer, but the silver lining is that there's a lot to unpack and explore in the film, which is good for some people because despite the multiple trailers, the plot doesn't feel like it's been given away. But most people are concerned that there have been so many hints that The Way of Water will be something we've seen before, but in a different kind of setting. Although there's a good chance to broaden the world of Pandora, it might be a mistake to step in there in terms of story. Nonetheless, the fans didn't have anything bad to say about the story's visuals, praising the CGI as nothing less than a realistic masterpiece. The Way of Water obviously cost a lot of money to produce, and fans are predicting that the Avatar sequel will need to gross at least $2 billion to break even. But what do you think? Will it be able to cross the $2 billion mark or even reach that? Let us know in the comments below. Avatar: The Way of Water will debut on December 16th, followed by 3 more movies apparently in 2024, 2026, and in 2028. So, mark your calendars. That's it for today. If you liked the video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content just like this.